In this video tutorial, I am going to show you how to create a budget using the Google Sheets budget template, along with my best tips to customize the template. If you are looking for a quick and easy budgeting tool, which works on any platform or device so you can track your daily and monthly expenses, then this is a tool for you to help keep your expenses under control. I also provide solutions to common problems with the spreadsheet formulas that individuals may encounter when they add custom categories to the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is free to use. The information is step by step. And best of all, no ads or installation required. Let's get started. If you haven't already done so, go to www.google.com/sheets, SHEETS. Step 1. Locate and open the Google Sheets monthly budget template. The first step is to find the Google Sheets budget template. When you open Google Sheets from a computer, look for the monthly budget spreadsheet located near the top of the screen. If you don't see a thumbnail for it, click on the template gallery and find it under Personal. Step 2. Start with a clean and customized budget sheet. We will start by creating a clean and customized budget sheet, but first we will need to give the budget template a new name. In the upper left corner, change the name of the spreadsheet from Monthly Budget to Clean Monthly Budget. You'll understand why that's important later in this tutorial. Next, you want to delete sample amounts on the summary and transaction spreadsheets. Keep in mind, if you don't follow the up and coming instructions, it may break the formulas on your spreadsheet. Let's begin with the transaction spreadsheet. You can access it by clicking on the transaction tab on the bottom of the screen. To delete the sample expenses for rent and paycheck, click on the number 5 to select the entire row. Then click on the delete values from the edit drop-down menu. Next, scroll down to the bottom of the transaction spreadsheet. You will see that it ends with row 33. That will be a problem if you have more than 33 transactions in a month. So click Add 1,000 more rows at the bottom to avoid any issues. Once you have made those changes, flip back to the summary spreadsheet. To start with a clean slate, adjust the starting balance in cell L8 from 1,000 to $0. Then zero out the sample home, cell D31, and paycheck, cell J29, amounts shown in the shaded planned column. The summary spreadsheet ends with row 44. If you think that you may need additional expense categories, click Add 1,000 more rows at bottom, just like you did on the transaction spreadsheet. You'll get a pop-up that warns about editing the spreadsheet, but go ahead and click OK. The third step is to customize your sample monthly budget. Before you adjust the expense categories on the summary spreadsheet, I will recommend that you add a third spreadsheet for fixed expenses. The purpose of this additional spreadsheet is to separate your fixed and variable expenses. Let me explain how it's done. In the lower left corner, click on plus sign for Add Sheet and change the tab name to Fixed Expenses. Then list your fixed expenses and how much you spend on each every month. Fixed expenses include things like your rent or mortgage, cell phone bill, TV bill, utilities, and insurance payments. Total the fixed expenses and flip back over to the summary spreadsheet. Next, change the first line on the expensive column from food to fixed expenses and enter the total from the other spreadsheet. Now, all of those fixed expenses take up only one line in a summary spreadsheet, and you can focus on variable or flexible spending categories that have a greater impact on your day-to-day budget. You can safely change the shaded expense and income categories on the summary spreadsheet through line 41. But don't fill in the planned column for your expense categories, except fixed expenses, just yet. We will do that later. If you need help determining your budget categories, review your recent credit card and bank statements. If you like to add extra rows or think you may need to in the future, there's a specific way to do it to avoid messing up the formulas. Let me explain what you need to do. First, determine the number of expense categories that you want to add. It doesn't hurt to have extra blank rows, so I suggest that you add about 5 or 10 rows even if you won't use them all. Go to the last row of the expense column, Custom Category 3, line 41. Highlight the cells you want to duplicate. Drag down using the blue handle. Click OK when prompted with a pop-up warning. Rename the new categories anything you want. Flip over to the transaction spreadsheet to continue. From this spreadsheet, navigate to the category dropdown. You may need to scroll up from here. You may notice that not all the new budget categories are reflected. Here's how to fix that. Highlight the first cell under category on the expense side, row 5, column E. From the data menu, select data validation. In the cell range field, change transaction E5 to transaction E5 E1000. In the criteria summary field, change the last two numbers of the summary C44 formula to match the number of your last row from the summary spreadsheet. That would be 50 from the example that I gave earlier. Click Save and check to see if all categories now appear in the dropdown. Now that we have customized the sample monthly budget, the fourth step is to make a copy of it to save the work that we have done so far and actually start budgeting for the upcoming month. Go to the File menu, select Make a Copy, and rename the budget for the upcoming month. For example, March 2022 budget. I could go back to the sample budget every single month to make a new copy. All of your categories and fixed expenses spreadsheet should be copied over. From here, plan your spending in all of your budget categories and make sure that the total amount doesn't exceed your monthly income. If you need to make tweaks to your categories or the fixed expenses spreadsheet in the future, make those changes in the sample budget before you make a copy. This will save you time. All that's left for you to do is track your purchases and record them. Once my budget is set at the beginning of each month via PC or laptop, I do the rest of my budgeting on the go with Google Sheets mobile app. That's the fifth and final step of this process. From the free app available for Apple and Android devices, I can get an overall snapshot of my spending from the summary spreadsheet and enter transactions from the transaction spreadsheet. Here's an example. Before I go to the grocery store, I open the Google Sheets app and look at the summary tab to see how much money I have left to spend. After completing my purchase, I immediately record the transaction before I leave the store. All I do is flip over to the transaction tab and enter the date, amount, description, and category. Checking in with my budget before every purchase has saved me a lot of money. If I realize that I don't have enough budgeted for something I wanted to buy, I either skip the purchase or move money from another budget category to cover it. Let's say that I have $200 budgeted for groceries and $200 for entertainment. If I'm at risk of going over my budget for groceries, I can pull $50 from the entertainment category. I will then go to the summary tab and adjust the planned spending to reflect the new budget, $250 for groceries and $150 for entertainment. I am not changing the overall total planned spending for the month, just the categories. Another great thing about the Google Sheets budget template is that you can share it. If you maintain a budget with a partner, you can both make changes to the budget from a computer, tablet, or smartphone. Final thoughts. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to budgeting, but the Google Sheets budget template is a simple and powerful tool to take control of your money, and it's 100% free. The monthly budget template can be customized. I can track expenses on the go with the app. I can easily share my spreadsheet. No advertisements or bank information to worry about giving out. If you found this information useful, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button. It's free for you and would greatly help me to continue making more valuable content that can help others such as yourself. Thanks for watching. Take care.